I was eating a cheese grilled sandwich this morning when I realised the bread was still on the countertop. That's when I realised I was literally just eating a block of melted cheese. And that got me thinking. Good day, you absolute legends. Welcome back to another edition of Update News. Now, today's hot topic is Major Update Inbound, and here is why. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from this very moment in the video onwards, I am not going to do any voice editing at all. It's literally gonna be one continuous take. I've set myself this personal challenge because I want to see if it can be done. So there may be some very confusing lines and there may be some nonsensical things that I say. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. I'm already struggling trying to think of what to say next because normally I make a pause right now, think about what I'm going to say, and then I'll say it and then edit so then it makes me sound good and not like a babbling chimpanzee or something. See, I just had to pause, talk about foreshadowing. Anyway, so topic, yeah, we're going on this. So, major update inbound. Why do I think that there is a major update inbound? Well, if we kind of look back at like previous and that, I mean, to be fair, this year alone has been a very, very profound year for No Man's Sky because, you know, with Orbital, everybody was expecting, you know, the update to come a bit later than it did, which surprised everybody with the Orbital update. And don't get me wrong, it brought a shit ton of brand new things and features that nobody was like truly expecting, like the procedural generated space station type Bs were brought in, the new spaceships, fantastic. It looks absolutely cool. I'm all there for it. But one thing it didn't bring, and, you know, there was a lot of speculation around this at the time, thinking, oh, well, it's obviously just been delayed, was the expedition. Now, with the expedition, everybody was thinking, oh, yeah, you know, it's Orbital, so there's going to be an Orbital expedition. But that never really came, did it? Now, it's way too late in the cycle for them to introduce it now. I think that for the first time since the expeditions were kind of, you know, introduced, I think that Orbital update didn't actually have an expedition attached to it, which again is such a profound thing. And it makes me wonder if they've stopped expeditions, even though it wouldn't make sense again because they have only just introduced in the last update previously that, you know, expedition station that's now in the anomaly. So you can replay expeditions, or meant to replay expeditions, or when an expedition does come out, you can play that. So that don't make any sense to why they would invest time into making the model and everything for that if they was to stop expeditions. And if you go onto the expedition main menu, if you go to start a new game, it says there is an expedition coming soon. But the Orbital update never had one. So going off of that's been a strange year already, you know. So my train of thought now was expeditions, and now I've lost myself. Oh yeah. So major update inbound. Why do I think this? Now, if we do go off normal patterns, we know that by the end of May, early June, yeah, I have to think about things. I was thinking, is it May, July? No, May, June, July. So end of May, early June, we should get the first snippets from Mr. Murray that there is going to be an update about to drop. It's around about the same time every single year without fail. So, you know, even if we kind of like, you know, go through the patterns again, I don't know, it's been such an unprecedented year, but if I had to put money on it, I'm going to try and give a prediction that around about the 1st of next month, maybe between the 1st and the 3rd of next month, we should get some sort of word from Mr. Murray over on Twitter, whether that be a confirmation of the update itself being actually dropped and he skipped over the emoji that time, or that's when the emoji will drop, hype train speculation starts, and so on and so forth. And, you know, what do I think that's going to be included this time round? Because at the end of the day, we got the procedural generated space stations, we got the new ships. I think because it skipped over the expedition, I think that would have the content that was going to be in the expedition, I think that's going to be brought into the update itself. So, you know, we know that with expeditions, we get a bunch of content such as items and candy items, like eye candy items, not candy eye items. That's a bit wrong, but eye candy items. Now, with eye candy items, we haven't got all those, so I think they're saving it for the next big update to kind of give us a more bigger update, or the appearance of a bigger update. So if they drop in tons of new items, I think that's going to be in the next update, definitely. I think we're going to get a ton of new items, a lot of new eye candy. Now, I'm hoping for a lot of quality of life improvements. I'm hoping and I'm praying for, dramatic increase in multiplayer compatibility, fixability, bug squashing, that kind of thing. I'm hoping that they do fix multiplayer. Now, it's something in the community that I've even noticed more so now than at any other time during my time playing No Man's Sky and doing it day in and day out. Multiplayer right now is so bad. Now, as you know, that me, Captain Steve, and Ricey are doing a social experiment, if you will, on one planet where we're trying to replicate Light No Fire, but in No Man's Sky. So it's called Light No Sky, and everyone on one planet. Now, because everyone's on one planet, we've got hundreds and hundreds of participants. So we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of I can't even say that word. Participants. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of participants on one planet. Now, everybody is building on that one planet. They're building massive mega structures on that one planet. They're building small things on that one planet. And it's all having to be rendered in. Now, this is a thing. With all that going on, playing on that planet at the minute is a little bit difficult because everyone's in their own instance as well. So sometimes to try and see how many people are truly there, you've actually got to cycle multiplayer on and off a few times, and then that will then bring multiplayer on and then switch what you can see. So for example, if I can only see Ricey but Captain Steve is stood next to Ricey, then maybe one time I won't see Captain Steve, I'll only see Ricey, but if I turn multiplayer on and off, I'll see Captain Steve and not Ricey. I hope that makes sense. So it kind of gives you an idea of the kind of trouble that multiplayer is having at the minute. And there is ways that they can fix it, but I just hope that it's on the high priority list because, I'm thinking that, Light No Fire is just around the corner. It's either going to be released late this year or early next year. It's roughly the time frame. So if everyone is meant to be on one planet, and this is an experiment that we're conducting in No Man's Sky with only a few people, but yet, I say a few people, a few hundred people, but on Light No Sky, magnitudes bigger than that. You're talking 200,000 people, 2 million people when the game first launches. Those servers are going to implode if they don't deal with multiplayer now. And I think they need to start laying the foundation and the groundwork for the multiplayer. So they need to get multiplayer fixed. So I'm hoping with the next big update, major update, I'm losing track where I am here, then they need to fix multiplayer. It needs to happen. Enough time has passed now. We can be forgiven for so long, but multiplayer is such a massive issue with No Man's Sky at the minute. It's like the Hercules' heel. I call it Hercules' heel because I like the character name. But anyway, let's move on from that. So, other than multiplayer, what else do I think? So, we know that possibly there's going to be ship racing in the game because we've just had, obviously, the new speeder ship. There's been, things found in the game files that, suggest that there is going to be racer or racing tracks or ships because literally the new speeder ship in the game files is literally called Racing Ship. So I mean, why would it be called Racing Ship? And obviously even in the space stations as well, there's flags and shit in there as well that are in obviously the doorways, and it I don't know. And even there's even an emoji of the Gek with a racing helmet on, and on the actual ship itself as well, on the speeder ship. I think, is it called the speeder ship? I don't know. I've actually lost track now. My mind is so blank this morning. But yeah, so long story short, we think that speeder ships are going to be part of racing in some way. So, I mean, are they going to introduce a racing track? How is that going to work? I mean, are they going to be like, you know, little points in space that you and your friends race up against and see who can complete the track in the fastest possible time? But with the multiplayer issues, how is that going to work? It's just kind of like a little bit confusing at the minute. But I mean, hopefully they can get it done. And I really do hope for Hello Games' sake that, you know, they can get something like that working. But they do, this is what I mean by Hello Games' sake, they need to get multiplayer already working. But I hope that's going to be a thing. I keep going on about multiplayer. I just think at the minute, it's just kind of grating on me with the multiplayer. But we'll move on. We'll move past this. We're bigger people than this. We don't hold grudges too much. So, obviously, racing. But what else? I think the next part of the ARG story arc is going to come into play. We know that there's going to be some kind of broodmother. You know, this mysterious dark entity that's like lurking in an alternate realm or universe. You know, always in the shadows, always watching but can't be seen. I love that. It's like proper like mystery style stuff, and I really like that. So we know that the autophages going off the law was kind of escaping from this realm where this broodmother is meant to lay. That's why we have technically the refugee of that, you know, of that autophage, whatever the spider-looking guy. I can't remember the exact name of it, but, you know, we'll call him Kevin, right? Kevin, the spider-looking autophage that's in the anomaly up top, next to where you can, you know, adjust your staff and all that. You know, Kevin's meant to be like, you know, running away from this, and he's giving out story missions. And, you know, in one of the last updates, we had to choose between a red or a blue helmet, or crimson and the Atlantid helmet, which was like a blue helmet. You could only choose one of the two, but no one, it never explained why you only had to choose one of the two. It was literally choose this or choose that, and that's your lot. So, you know, there's definitely something going on there. And I don't think it's been quite realized yet. I mean, Hello Games essentially could just have put that in the game just to fuck with us. I mean, seriously, they could have literally just put that in there just to go, okay, like do some psyop bullshit and call it a day. Or it could actually be for a purpose. Who knows? I think Hello Games sometimes makes this as they go along. But at the end of the day, it is fun. I do like the direction that the game is going at the minute. I do like the direction of the lore. So I think because we didn't have an expedition this time round, I think lore is going to be a major part of this next update. That's just what I think. But again, let me know what you think in the comment section down below as per usual. Now, another thing as well is not only are we going to get loads of different items, not only are we going to get hopefully multiplayer or bug fixes in some way sorted, and not only are we going to get the ARG story arc, but let's talk about this broodmother. What the heck is the broodmother? I mean, I think, and me and Captain Steve have spoke about this as well, I think that the way that we're going to get to this broodmother, this entity, this deep dark creature from the abyss, I think we need to somehow travel there. And for the longest of times, the space station core still is locked. Even though we have like the passports, and even though we have in-game the tools to technically unlock the space station, as we all know, we just get the message of glass, 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 and then, you know what, that's it. You just wasted a good override for nothing. So what if you activate that and all of along the space station core was some kind of engine, like a pulse drive or a warp drive, should I say? So you punch in the override then sends power up to the engine or the core of the space station, and the space station then is automatically teleported from one instance of space to the realm of the broodmother. Now, obviously, this has been dubbed the Realm of Glass. Now, I think the Realm of Glass originally came from the fact that whenever you use an override, it says glass, 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 because that's in the message. That's basically Hello Game saying it's not ready yet, go away. So glass, glass, glass. And people think, well, there's obviously going to be a realm of glass because I've just been told glass 3 bloody times. It's almost like been, you know, imprinted into my bleeding mind or something. The fact that we just got glass, glass, glass. And I've just said glass, glass, glass another 9 times. So there you go. You know, talk about psyops. But still, we need to go there somehow. So I think that's going to be a very viable way to get there. So if this next update is going to be the biggest of this year, which again, in the middle of the year, there's usually when the major big juicy updates drop. It's like the middle of the year, big updates drop to kind of like, you know, carry us down for the rest of the year. So maybe this time round we could see the Realm of Glass. Maybe this time round we could get answers finally to what this mysterious broodmother is. And finally we'll get an answer to the bleeding space station codes that have been in the game now for the past, 2 plus 3 years? 2 years? I actually lost count. It's been that long. So we need to know what they do. I mean, they've had an overhaul, but we don't know exactly what it is that what they do right now. So hopefully we will get answers. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think they do in the comment section down below. Do you think that, you know, the space station cores are literally just there and you're going to unlock it and then, I don't know, it might just give you the ownership of the space station or something? Or do you think it has something to do with the broodmother? Do you think, in my case, it's going to actually send you to another realm of glass or whatever it is? I mean, who knows? But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. You know what to do. But let's continue onwards. Other than that, with the next big update, I think we'll start getting signs on SteamDB as well. Now, we know, going off again previous, that we'll start seeing sales. So we'll get a Steam sale on, and it's not just in, like, you know, in certain countries. We'll start seeing Steam sales in the UK. We'll start seeing Steam sales in America, in Canada, Australia, France, and I don't know, Germany and Yugoslavia or something. I don't know. I'm just making shit up at this point. But we'll start seeing Steam sales across the world, right? That's all we need to just put it down to. Steam sales across the world. Fantastic. You know, the game will be at 50% off, which is absolutely awesome. Now, when that happens, we'll have a look on Xbox. When that happens on Xbox, we'll have a look on PlayStation. When that happens on PlayStation, we know that there is going to be then a major update that is imminent. And that is the most crucial aspect. But I think before we actually see that, we're going to get some Steam internal branch updates. Now, we know that Steam internal branch updates, like with, if we look back to what happened with Orbital, we had a Steam internal branch update that just sat there, and it sat there for, it sat there for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, give or take. It was a long time, and it never, ever went over to experimental. Obviously, now we know it was the Orbital update that was released way too soon, in my opinion, but there we go. I mean, at the end of the day, that could happen again. But I think we'll get an internal branch update first that very well may and probably will just sit there. And it'll sit there for another week or two. And then maybe we'll get a hint or two from Mr. Murray with an emoji. You know, something to get the community excited. And then that is when we'll see the Steam sales. Once we get the Steam sales happening, we know then it's literally within a 24-hour period that the update will drop. And then, you know, everyone's going to be super excited and jumping on and seeing what all the latest and greatest is. But I just hope that this time round they do less, you know, less eye candy stuff, less let's just give you a bunch of items stuff. And I hope more for just basically fixing the problems of the game, just really squishing down the bugs, getting multiplayer to work. That's such a big one and a big ask, but I believe they can do it. Get multiplayer to work, you know, get the lag down in the game, get it more compatible with, you know, current gen and pre-gen systems. basically just get the game into a Goldilocks zone, the sweet zone, and even get multiplayer functionality for the Nintendo Switch peeps. It's time. They want to enjoy No Man's Sky and multiplayer as much as we would like them to come and join multiplayer with us. So I think that's time now. I think everyone should be all playing No Man's Sky together. So I think, like I said, this time round, just basically give us the quality of life improvements over the eye candy. Give us the update that really does cement the foundation of No Man's Sky and even Light No Fire going forward. Because too much eye candy is a little bit of overkill. It's like getting yourself a wonderful Ferrari and then trying to put a fajazzle on it or something. It just doesn't look right. But, you know, at the end of the day, quality of life best, quality of life better, best, quality of life best better, best better? I don't even know what I'm saying now. Quality of life is good. Eye candy, or too much eye candy, bad. So let's keep with that. You know, the gameplay matters more over visual sometimes. I mean, you know, there are plenty of games out there that show that. So that's what I think. But ladies and gentlemen, that's been enough rambling for me. I've literally talked this entire time without taking a break, without really thinking about what I'm saying. And yeah, I mean, hopefully you got at least one or two concurrent, cohesive, one or two sentences that made sense. We'll go with that out of this entire spiel. So yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's everything from me here today. And as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.